Wayne Manas, the Director of Education Services. So I'm going to present to you today a new service that we're offering called Training Subscriptions. So the agenda is pretty straightforward. We're going to talk about what the subscription service is, how we price it, how you can order it, why is this valuable to you, what's the experience like coming on board as a new customer, and then of course plenty of time for some questions and answers. So we've been doing this for quite some time. Several of us have been in this training business for over 30 years, and there are some things that we've ran into over the years that I think they're universal truths, and most customers have this problem. We're trying to solve these problems for our customer, and what are those? So typically, training is made available to our customers when they purchase. That's when we see the orders come in. They'll buy a product, they'll extend a network, they'll purchase a new product, and then they order training to go along with it. We provide training at that time, and then we don't usually see them anymore, and there's really no access to training at that point. Budgets are hard to get throughout the year. Usually we do planning once a year for our training, and then that's it. If you don't have a budget or ability to get budget throughout the year, it kind of blocks you. You can't order training for new staff, anything like that. If you need small training, something custom, usually it's hard to get that from your vendor, again, because it's tied to budget. It can be very costly depending on what it is you're looking for, if it's highly custom, something sizable, or even something as simple as you took the training, several months have gone by, you're implementing your programs, your network, and you can't quite remember some of the key pieces that you were taught in the class. So how do we deal with this? We want to make sure that training is available for you all year round. We want to make sure that you can plan for training for the year. Even if you're not really sure what you need, you should at least be able to come to the table at the end of the year and plan for it. Make sure it's part of your budget cycle. If you need customization of training, small webinars, you're implementing a new feature, we want to be able to provide that service to you as well, anytime within the year. Also want to make sure that if you have taken some training and you want to reinforce any of those skills, spend time in a lab somewhere practicing what you learned, you still have access to these instructors, access to our labs, things like that. We call it refresher type training. So in order to do all of these things to help solve these problems, we've created a new service called Subscriptions, available for the entire year. This is traditional training that we do today. It includes the self-paced training that we serve up on our learning management systems, as well as leader-led training in the classroom or virtual training online. But it also includes some premium services as well to solve some of the problems around customization of training content, maybe some refresher training, access to some labs for practice, things like that. They're all scalable, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So training passes is what we call them, address the needs of an individual. They're scaled. So one person may need a training pass for the year. Medium-sized businesses may have a larger group of 3 to 5 people perhaps, all the way up to your larger service providers, which could have hundreds of staff that require training throughout the year. So these are the different packages that we offer, starting with what we call our Omni Pass, which is a year of access to the self-paced materials that we have available in our learning management system. It's important to note that the Omni Pass is a key component to all of these packages. It's available in all of them. These build as we go up. If a staff member comes on board and you want them to have access to the Omni Pass, we would register them into that. But if you have turnover and someone leaves the company, we'll let you transfer that pass once within the year. The White Pass is the same thing, but it includes 5 student days of training. So they can come to a training facility, we can come out to your site, however you want to use these. It's 5 student days. It can be 1 student in a 5-day class. It could be 5 students in a 1-day class. It doesn't matter how you use them. They can use it any way they want and can be used anytime within the year. The Royal Pass, again, includes everything in the White and the Omni. The difference being instead of 5 days, basically it's 25 student days. You do get something called a follow-up refresher, which is if you've taken a training session and 3 months later you want your staff back in a training session with us to do some refresher, we'll work with you to understand where you feel you need to be refreshed and pull your staff together and take them back through the content, make sure it sticks. Plus you can have some personal instructor time. Maybe you need to do something small. I only need an hour or 2 hours of our time to take your staff through it. Let us know what it is. We'll scope, develop something, bring your staff together in a webinar, and carry them through that. So that's available as well throughout the year. When you move to the Platinum Pass, you can see that, again, same thing. You still have all of the services that are available in the previous passes, except as 50 flexible student days. And in addition, you would have something called eLabs, which is a instructor managed event where your staff can come in and spend time on the equipment before you turn them loose on yours. The Black Pass is probably it's fairly sizable. Likely a service provider, someone like that may want that. 200 flexible student days, and in this particular pass, it does come with custom development, which is not uncommon. We see that. Custom development meaning you may want us to create a course unique to your deployment, your implementation of the network. And in that case, we would spend time with you, scope, design, develop the course, and if you combine that with your 200 flexible student days, we can even deliver that course to your staff. Okay? The details of all of these services are available in the data sheets, and these can be found on our external Ribbon website in the training section. So, and again, if you have any questions, get with your sales rep. They also understand these as well. So let's take you to the commercials on this. So the OmniPass, if purchased separate from this offering, is around $8,000 value. But because it's being offered as a pass, the list price is $2,500. This is per person. The White Pass, if purchased again independently, the 5 student days and the self-paced training, would be $12,000. But the list price is $3,000. So you can see there's a huge value in bundling these services into passes and having them available throughout the entire year. These can be ordered right now if you wish. They're available today. So why would you want to do this? Okay, so customers can purchase this anytime throughout the year. You can do it during a budget cycle. That might be a lot easier for you. And then when you do need the training, you're not going back to ask for funding. You're not trying to get approvals. It's already set. You have year-round access to training. You can contact us throughout the year. We can do special custom events for you. All of this can help keep your skills sharp. Knowledge is very evolutionary. It changes constantly throughout the entire year. You may be deploying something mid-year, and we can be there to help you when this happens. Efficiency, order generation is pretty quick for us when you do this because it's usually done in along, let's say, during your budget cycles. We know about it. We can help you with that. You're not asking us to generate these orders down the road. There's no lead times or anything like that to get these subscriptions stood up. And you're going to have a personal assistant who will work with you. That's actually Ricardo who's on this call. This person is going to assist you throughout the year and make sure you're getting the most out of your training. He'll team up with you to understand what your needs are and help you with a custom plan throughout the entire year. So the onboarding experience. So when one of these are purchased, the first thing we'll do is reach out to you as a new customer with a subscription. We'll set up some time to discuss things like what did you purchase, what's included in the service, what each of those premium services mean and how they're managed. We'll get you registered for all of the OmniPasses, right? We'll have all the individuals you want taking those OmniPasses registered in our learning management system. We use the Ribbon PO number for that to register them. Again, just as a reminder, these can be transferred once a year should somebody decide to leave your organization and go elsewhere. And then the communications will occur throughout the year as you're consuming this service. We want to make sure you're getting reports and that this is value to you. What to expect, the frequency, probably, those that are buying an OmniPass, not as much hands-on, wouldn't need to communicate with them as much, but if you're on the other end of this spectrum, there's going to be a lot more interaction with us, a lot more reporting and teaming up. So your training advisor would be the one who will spend a lot of time with you on these. The expiration occurs at the end of the year. You'll get a 60-day notice, and you'll spend time with your training advisor understanding how well everything went, make sure you're getting what you need as far as the value to ensure you can justify purchasing the service again. So basically the ultimate objective for onboarding is to make sure that you take full advantage of what it is you purchase throughout the year. All right, so short and sweet. If you have any questions, you can call us, send us an email to training_admin@rbbn.com. And with that, Ricardo, I don't know if you had any questions. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to text us and we'll answer those.
Thanks, Wayne. At the moment, we don't have any questions from this audience. However, we did prepare some frequently asked questions, but they be natural as a follow-up. So we can start with that. Let me just allow these attendees to raise any questions they may have at this moment. Otherwise, we'll go to the FAQ.
Hey, Ricardo. Yeah, I don't see any, this is Lance. I don't see any coming in from the audience at this moment. But a quick reminder, in the bottom right-hand side of your screen is where you can type your question. So if you did see anything you wanted to ask, feel free to type it there. But I would say feel free to move forward with some of the FAQs.
All right. So first one's pretty straightforward. So how can I order any of these subscriptions? So the short answer is you may want to contact your Ribbon sales representative, and he will bridge you with our training department. I will be glad to assist you with a formal quote. Eventually, if you want to pay with a credit card, Ribbon would accept that. This service is not yet available from our website, so that you could purchase or self-register independently. But you're more than welcome to reach out to us directly or through your Ribbon sales representative. Okay, so second question, I kind of alluded this already to this. So do you accept credit cards as a method of payment? Yes, Ribbon does accept credit cards for small purchases such as the Omni and White Passes. No issues there. If you want to work through a purchase order, that's fine too. We'll take that using our regular process and engage you accordingly as well. Third question, can we set this up to coincide with our maintenance renewals? Yes, we can prorate the service to align in the first year, and then renewals will revert to the list price for a 12-month service. So definitely that's a good advantage if you want to coincide training subscriptions with your maintenance renewals. Okay, and the last but not the least, if the Royal Pass is too small, do I have to order the Black Pass? I don't need that much of training, for example. So the short answer, yes. Think of these passes as a Lego boxes, right? You can combine any of these to get the amount of training you feel you need at the moment that you need. Could be, for example, 2 White Passes and 1 Royal, or any other combination that you may prefer. Okay, so you had the pricing information in this deck. And also the value added by each pass. So feel free to combine them and tailor those to your particular needs, to your organization. Okay, so with that said, I'll turn back it over to you, Lance.
Thanks, Ricardo. We did have a couple questions come in while we were going over the FAQs. And maybe, Wayne, could you go back to one of your slides that had the pricing information? Because that was one of the questions we had from Chris. What was the pricing? So if you want to go over that real quick, and then Ricardo, just check that questions queue there and see the other question.
Okay, so the OmniPass, $2,500 per person, right, per seat. That's basically all you can consume training. The White Pass is $3,000. That includes 5 student days, right? So if you remember the earlier packages, you start adding all these premium services in there. Notice what's interesting, it's only $500 more if you move to the White Pass and pick up some student days. And it's incrementally built that way to offer you more value as you go down through this list. And when you get to the bottom, for example, Black Pass, this 200 student days is quite sizable. The Royal Pass is 25, Platinum is 50 student days. But in those, you're going to, again, incrementally have other services like, the instructor access, e-labs, customization of content. So, but I think all of this is going to be made available to you again. Each one of these packages, the descriptions and what comes with them will be made available on our external website. And also, if you downloaded these packages, you'll see those in the data sheet that Lance posted for us. That answer the question?
Yeah, I believe so. Ricardo, anything else we want to address from the audience?
No, I don't have any other questions coming on my way. Thanks, Lance.
Okay. Well, great. Well, that's all we have. Short and sweet, and these guys have designed this program to be simple on purpose, so you guys can take advantage of these trainings anytime and make it really simple on your organization and on your teams. So we thank everybody for joining today. We thank you for your questions. Later this afternoon, you'll be getting an email with a link for the replay in case you want to hear anything else Wayne spoke about here. We have it recorded, so we'll get that to you out this afternoon. And as always, respond to those questions or respond to, if you want to move to your final slide with your email address on there. Take note of this email address and reach out to these guys with any questions. They'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks again, and we will talk to you all next time. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Ricardo.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.
Thanks, folks. Bye now.